Catherine, say hi.
I need glasses because I can't read.
Catherine told me to start vlogging. So we are. Say hi, Evie.
Hey.
Evie's doing her hair. Here's the, oh, that was a really not fun angle of Grace. Here's the bouquets. So pretty. Ollie and Catherine made them. And they're gorgeous. Here's Catherine's. I don't actually know how to vlog, so. Her makeup's done. She looks like a queen. Is it gonna load? Wow. Fabulous. Ollie's doing Michaela's hair. It's very exciting. There's her dress. Wow. It's so pretty.
I love it so much.
That's enough vlogging for now.
I put all my hope on the truth of your promise, and I steady my heart on the ground of your goodness. When I'm bowed down with sorrow, I will lift up your name, and the foxes in the vineyard will not steal my joy, because you are good to me, good to me. You are good to me, good to me.
Together in the sight of God, and in the face of this congregation, to join together this man, David William Furlong, and this woman, Catherine Rose Bernadette Brewer, in holy baptism.
And I lift my eyes to the hills where my help is found, and your voice fills the night. Raise my head up to hear the sound, and when fires burn all around me, I will praise you, my God, and the foxes in the vineyard will not steal my joy, because you are good to me, good to me. You are good to me, good to me. You are good to
Privilege to introduce to you, for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. David Furlong.
Could you see yourself growing old with me, watching my hair turn to gray? Could you live with me in my mistakes and the ones I have yet to make? So when our eyes have
You'll also soon realize that he just has an astoundingly large amount of knowledge about the most random, useless things. In fact, he could take a single subject of interest and turn it into a full-length documentary, complete with passionate commentary and enough detail to leave you both impressed and honestly slightly concerned. From exact dates of SpaceX launches to Batman's first appearance in Detective Comics number 27, David knows it all. There you go. 28. And X-ray is on his toes. So when I first met David, I was no older than probably 14 or 15. And the first thing that stood out to me about this guy is that he was just weird. Now, what surprised me was he wasn't shy about that fact either. I've always considered myself to be an awkward kind of weird, but David is a confident weird. And let me tell you, that can be dangerous. Matter of fact, his catchphrase for years has been, and still is, and I quote, "Make it weird, keep it weird." Yeah. Now at the time, I only really knew him as the kid who always wore the same hoodie every day, is obsessed with the I'm a Gummy Bear song, and would hide in bushes and occasionally grab your attention by saying in a very monotone voice, "Good evening." At which point, you would be startled and look around trying to locate the orator, only to be met with a pair of green eyes smiling at you through the shrubbery. But my first actual encounter with this young furlough was when he was about to throw hands with another young boy at a party. We were hopping on a trampoline in a friend's backyard when one fellow claimed that he could take any of us because he has a black belt in karate. Now, this is when David kicked into fact check mode and proceeded to raise up his dudes and say, "All right then, prove it." And then the lad was taken aback by David's shocking proposal and proceeded to make a list of very valid excuses, such as, "Well, I don't want to hurt you," and, "Oh, well, my instructor told me I can only use it on criminals, so..." David persisted in calling out the kid's bluff, but alas, no fight came of it. It was at this moment that the first seed of respect for David was planted in my mind, and has continued to grow ever since. While he was a weird kid, I can assure you that he's definitely still a weird adult. But I obviously would not have him any other way. We became novice debate partners a couple years later, and senior partners for a short time, a couple years after that. And that's when I really began to get to know him. I soon realized that David is a man who's always been very concise, very matter-of-fact. He never hesitates to call you out when he thinks your logic doesn't matter. And when a disagreement arises, he never lets it get out of control or affect your friendship. David's also very good about recognizing where he's fallen short, or at the very least, will make an effort to let you know that he could have been mistaken. But he'll definitely do it to you. Before I knew it, I was locked in. Part of the ship, part of the crew, knowing there's no escape from David Jones' locker. Each and every man on this private party is just another hostage in David's twisted scheme to never let any of us go. Now, maybe it's the Stockholm Syndrome talking, but honestly, being part of this crew honestly has its quirks. Compliments and terms of endearment seamlessly blend in a strange cocktail of insults and bullying, to the point where they almost become interchangeable. But at the same time, you also get a glimpse into a very heartfelt and compassionate being when you begin to pry open his mind and unlock deep conversations about theology, relationships, and even more nerd talks about Batman. His strongest personality trait, though, is without a doubt his confidence. And this confidence that rides with him everywhere is driven by his insatiable, "I'll just wing it" philosophy. While I would be up there scrambling to piece together evidence during debate rounds, trying to formulate arguments that seem at least mildly cohesive, David gets up there with a couple sticky notes, mostly just with doodles on, and proceeds to speak directly from his butt. While his method seemed rather unconventional for my taste, it somehow worked every time, and it still makes me angry. Now, while David is hands down one of the most intelligent minds I've ever seen, he just so happens to have a mind that will go to incomparably great lengths to put the least amount of effort into doing things. The problem is that oftentimes, taking a shortcut to put in less effort usually requires him to put in even more effort than if he just took the original route. But if there's one thing about David that will always make David is that he will always make sure that he puts effort into removing everything that isn't either meat or cheese in his Taco Bell menu items. Now, all that being said, I believe that everyone needs a friend like David. Someone who is unashamedly themselves, always building up the character of himself and others, and will go above and beyond to fight by your side and show you that you're worth fighting for. I couldn't begin to count the amount of times that David's been there for me. Whether it's using his tech skills to fix my broken computer that I didn't take care of properly, or spending hours offering comfort and encouragement to me when I've had a broken heart. David is a man who does all within his power to make things right. As much as he goes out of his way to help others, he isn't afraid for advice, or asking for advice, or getting my perspective on different situations that he faces. It takes a true man to seek others when they're lost, and a truer man still to admit that he's lost himself. David's had his fair share of giants he's had to confront, but I've witnessed David persevere through many difficult tribulations. It is also worth noting and saying that he wouldn't have gotten very far without Catherine. I've watched Catherine be a light to him and others in many ways. She's selfless, kind, full of energy, and somehow as crazy as David is. Perhaps a little more sometimes. Or less. It depends. But while David and Catherine are both alike and different in many ways, their undying love for each other has proven true time and time again. Their love for Christ always pushes them forward, driving them to dig deeper in the Word. That's the one. There you go. Got what we worship with. Alright, their dedication to helping speech and debate students become the best they can be is nothing short of admirable. And their unwavering support for each other through every challenge and triumph is a monument to the strength of their bond. Together they complement one another in the most beautiful ways, creating a partnership rooted in mutual respect, faith, and unshakable commitment to each other's worth. I pray that you would both continue to pursue the Lord in all things, and in all your ways give glory to Him. He's brought you both through so much, and He brings you through tomorrow. In all sincerity, I don't deserve to have a friend like David. But if we're being real, I don't think we really deserve anything. Life is grace, and those who have specifically received God's grace don't hold back their love. David's life is a testament to this fact, and each day I'm more proud of the man that the Lord is shaping him into. So Bradford Old Sport, I am forever at your service. You will always be my man. And so if you wouldn't mind, would you all kindly raise your glasses for your choir? I'd like to propose a toast to David Furlow, Master of Friends.
Here, here.
And since we've known each other for so long, you would think I would have some really embarrassing stories to tell about her. And that's what you're supposed to do. But I racked my brain. I even looked up your name through all my text messages to see if I could find something. But nothing was really quite there, because there's one amazing thing about Catherine, and it's she does not get embarrassed very easily. She is unapologetically and shamelessly herself, no matter what anyone else thinks. You can think she's weird or disagree with her, but she will always be herself. And it's something that has made being her friend so special. And when I think about Catherine, I realize our friendship wasn't just happenstance. From the moment we met till now, whether it was debating about theology or screaming chaperone in the car, there was an undeniable sense of purpose in the bond we formed. As C.S. Lewis says, in friendship, we think we have chosen our peers. In reality, a few years difference in the dates of our birth, a few more miles between certain houses, the choice of one university instead of another, the accident of a topic being raised or not raised at first meeting, any of these chances might have kept us apart. But for a Christian, there are strictly speaking no chances. A secret master of ceremonies has been at work. Christ, who said to the disciples, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you," can truly say to every group of Christian friends, "Ye have not chosen one another, but I have chosen you for one another." The friendship is not the reward for our discriminating or good taste in finding one another out. It is the instrument by which God reveals each of us to the beauties of others. God has knitted us together through friendship, and my thanks to Him grows each day. Over the years, you have shown me immeasurable amounts of compassion, love, and forgiveness, even when I didn't deserve it. When I was at my lowest, you didn't just hold my hand while I cried, you would cry with me. I knew if I called, you would answer. You have shown me a kind of love that is rare, a love that is forgiving, uplifting, and a love that does not judge. This past summer, I was given the opportunity that not many people get. I was able to live with my best friend. Catherine moved in with me and my family, and our relationship
transformed more from a friendship to a sisterhood. I can't tell you how much I will miss always having a poolside karaoke or coffee run buddy, or being able to walk out of my bedroom door and into your room. I wish I had appreciated it more before it was gone. Having you live with me was truly one of my favorite parts of last year. Even through the bickering of my siblings, or your dislike of my dogs, and even your clumps of hair on the side of our shower, I cherished every moment. But enough talk about us. Let's talk about the real reason we are all here, Catherine and David. So fun fact for all of you, this entire thing, this entire relationship, the reason you're all here, started with the game of Truth or Dare. When Catherine and I were at a sleepover at her house, we did what all teenage girls do. We played a game of Truth or Dare. And as young girls do, I dared her to text her crush, who happened to be David, and tell her that she liked him. Now, if it had been me that had received this dare, I would have just said no. But Catherine is much braver than I will ever be, and she didn't even hesitate to pull out her phone. She sent a text, and next thing I knew, her phone started ringing. It was David. I remember sitting next to her on her bed, holding my breath so that David didn't hear me giggle or breathe. I watched and I listened and stayed as silent as I could as David admitting to also having feelings for Catherine. They talked for what felt like an eternity as I sat next to her trying my best to contain my excitement. It is all she talked about for the remainder of the evening. Fast forward just a few years, and I found myself on my bedroom floor, kneeling in front of my keyboard, holding my breath, yet again. This time, I wasn't eavesdropping on their feelings. I was waiting to witness David propose. My bedroom door being a straight shot from hers, I got to witness everything through the view of my keyhole. I waited for about 15-20 minutes, anticipation swelling. When I finally heard her coming through the door downstairs, I held my breath, just like I had done just a few years prior. Catherine, I will never forget the joy of seeing you open the door and walk in to find David on one knee. I was truly there from the very start, from beginning to end, to the gap in the middle that we're going to pretend didn't happen. That's David, I cannot express to you how happy I am to see you marrying my best friends. Although we barely agree on anything ever, at all, not once, I know we are united on one front when it comes to loving Catherine. I know you will love and cherish her as God intended. And as someone who has lived with Catherine already, I can tell you, you have a lot to look forward to and a lot to get used to. So be patient, be kind, and be forgiving. Thank you for giving her the love she deserves. I got to grow up with her, and now you get to grow old with her. So, let's read in class, growing old with the one you love. Who said I love you first?
Who is the better cook?
Who has been pulled over more?
Who's more romantic?
Who wants more kids?
Who apologizes first in an argument?
Who got better grades in school?
Who is more stubborn?
Who is more dramatic?
Who is better at keeping surprises?
Who is more likely to be running late?
Who wants kids sooner? most likely to lose their keys or wallet?
Who is most likely to steal food off the other person's plate?
Who's more competitive?
Who is more likely to make the floor their personal laundry basket?
Who's more likely to finish a tub of ice cream in one setting?
Who has more patience?
Who has a better sense of style?
Who is always right?
And finally, who do you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Hello, hello, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I hope that you're missing me, 'cause it makes me feel young. Hello, hello, last time that I saw your face was recess in second grade, and it made me feel young. Won't you help me sober up? Growing up, it made me numb, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me sober up? All the big kids, they got drunk, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me feel something again? How's it go again? Goodbye, goodbye, I said to my bestest buds. We said that we keep in touch, and we did our best. All my new friends, we smile at party time, but soon we forget to smile at anything else. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, country road, take me home. Country road. At anything else, won't you help me sober up? Growing up, it made me numb, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me sober up? All the big kids, they got drunk, and I wanna feel something again. Won't you help me feel something again? How's it go again? How's it go again? My favorite color is you. You're vibrating out my frequency. My favorite color is you. You keep me young, and that's how I wanna be. My favorite color is you. You're vibrating out my frequency. My favorite color is you. You keep me young, and that's how I wanna be. Hello, hello, last time that I saw your face was recess in second grade, and it made me feel young.